Hello and welcome to Brett's Play. I am your host, Brett Claxton, and today I am playing Cartoon Network Battle Crashers, a game which is a side-scroller with some of your favourite Cartoon Network characters. But what do you do in it apart from, side-scrolling about? What's the story? Well, this little intro that's going to come up right now should be telling you what the story is. Basically, it's a case of someone, namely Uncle Grandpa, has fallen asleep at the wheel and caused a bit of a ruckus. So as you can see, jumping through various Cartoon Network shows and then going back to his own to show quite a kerfuffle. So let's start the game, shall we? We'll press X and jump in. So first things first, there's no real options menu here. Obviously that's something I normally will look at in a game to try and fine-tune it just to make it all a bit better, but none of that is here. As you can see, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different worlds, all about 3 levels each. I've already played through one of them on this Clarence level and it took not very long at all, really. Probably finished it in less than 5 minutes. You obviously have various modes to try, but let's just jump in, shall we? At the moment all I can play in is normal. So, in terms of going back, we can go back to Aberdale Neighbourhood, but let's play the Aberdale Junkyard. And as you can see, there's up to 4 different characters you can play as. I'm just playing by myself. And I'm going to go with Finn and Jake just because I've got a soft spot for the Adventure Time duo. And you'll notice that there's no witty words or anything really being said at the moment. And there's genuinely no options, which is just baffling. But from what I've played of the game so far, one of my biggest things I just don't understand is the fact that they've decided not to include voiceover work, considering that Cartoon Network shows are known very well for their witty dialogue and the way that they go. To strip a game down to completely lose the voiceover work is just ridiculous, especially when you've got a cast like this. I mean, if you can't get the voiceover artists, then maybe don't make a game like this. It plays alright from what I played. Obviously it'd probably be a bit more fun playing with multiple people at once, which I will be trying out at some point, not on this stream. But overall, it's like you don't even get the little hi-ads or something that you'd sort of expect from these sort of games when your character attacks. It just sort of goes through the motions. And obviously you'll be understanding what I mean when I jump into it properly, but it's just a shame. There's so much potential that could have been done with this great mishmash of Cartoon Network characters. They've got the visual style down, but the lack of voiceovers is just inexcusable, really. Or not even if it's not voiceovers, just basic sound effects of characters reacting to stuff. When I reviewed the Cartoon Network game last year, Finn and Jake Investigations, which was an Adventure Time game, one of the best parts about that was the voiceover work. The game itself was average, really, but the voiceover work just helped bump it up a bit, whereas it seems this could very much be average without that voiceover work to bump it up, which is a worry, but I've not played enough of it yet to fully pass judgment. Let's jump in and we can continue to pass judgment as I go. So, you press square to attack things and you grab what you need to. and you press square to obviously talk to people. If you touch the frog, you'll take damage over time, like you're poisoned or something. Gumball has a powerful vacuum which he can blow away the stench out of everything and everyone. Be sure to use his power to keep your teammates fresh, clean and stench free. So obviously, for some reason Flame Princess is in the Clarence universe, which doesn't make sense. And Gumball is the person to be using here. And it's good, it encourages you to obviously change your characters about, which means you're not going to keep sticking to the same person. Music seems fairly fun, but obviously the lack of not being able to turn it down a bit is a bit annoying. Penguins and weird Candymen. Switch to Uncle Grandpa, and you switch just by pressing the L1 and R1 buttons. It's a fairly easy thing to be doing. So let's grab what we need and carry on. So there's a robot down there to talk to. Let's head down there and talk to him. So when you feel overrun by monsters, you can call up your buddies to help you. Use the walking talking phone to do so. Press triangle after you've caught it. So I've caught it. Let's call it the buddies. See there, that was kind of cool. And we're going to go back to Gumball to blow away these stenches. Well, I don't really get why I'm doing it. I just realised I've completely missed a bunch of rubbish. So obviously you collect gems to level yourself up and power yourself up a bit better. Always worth doing. In games, it's just the way it goes, isn't it? You just want to collect everything. So far we've got most of the cast of the game. We are lacking the regular show lot and we are lacking the Steven Universe lot. But we've got the majority, which all came in the first level. Ah, stinky thing. Let's kill the stinky thing. Nicely done, stinky penguin. At the moment all the enemies have been one of these two variations. I'm sure that will change as we progress through though. So you press X to jump and you pick up the things you want. It all behaves as you sort of imagine a side-scrolling 2D game to work. But at the moment the main thing I'm doing is just hitting square, and that seems to be enough. I'm not taking much damage even when I'm not really doing much. I'm sure that will change as we push through. There we go, got a few more things. Use Uncle Grandpa here. So I think here is where it would help to be Clarence in a two-player game, because you'd be able to get rid of that poison effect, I imagine, on your team. Obviously in a single-player game it's a bit of a different experience. And there we go, that's a variation now on what we've seen before, making it a much more long-range bit of combat. It's important to keep in mind that this game will obviously not be aimed at people my age, I suppose. It will definitely be aimed at the younger audience. It seems like the kind of experience that would be quite easy for them to pick up. So the portal I've gone through here is something that helps you get extra items. Uncle Grandpa. He's still poisoned apparently, as is Clarence. Let's use Finn and Jake to smash this up. Finn and Jake do seem the strongest in the game so far. I don't really know if that's intentional. But they are quite easily beating characters much quicker than everyone else. Okay, so we're going to carry through now. So Gumball's struggling to clean himself up, it seems. Is he just going to be poisoned by default? No, he has stopped being poisoned, which is good. Let's grab his radio and we'll see what his special is like soon. Wait for an onslaught of enemies first, obviously, before showing off what it is. But yeah, the game obviously is using a range of characters that vary in their popularity, I suppose. The likes of Finn and Jake and Mordecai and Rigby and Steven Universe are all very popular. The likes of Uncle Grandpa and Clarence are more modern day favourites, and obviously Gumball's been around a while. There's a lot of love for the guy, but it just seems like, as you can hear what I was sort of talking about before, there's no characters reacting. They're not reacting to what they're doing. It's sound effects of things getting shot, but that's about it. The music is repetitive and overall it's very standard side-scrolling affair without much TLC put into it. But let's keep collecting everything. So Uncle Grandpa remains terrible. He has a very strange way of attacking as well. It seems to just roll through various items. It means you don't really know what you are doing. Well, we've got some health. We're back to full health again. That's always good. And I poisoned myself again. Brilliant. Back to Finn and Jake, because I know that they are probably the most effective when it comes to doing what we need to do here. Although, we got poison very quickly there. I'll switch back to Gumball. Hoping that would be, and that's just the end of the level. So there you go. Just shy of 9 minutes, but we have finished that level. Leveled up a few people. Got a new skill for Gumball. Shall we see what the final part of... Ooh. Sorry about that. There we go. So at the moment I can't pick a different mode. Let's stick with Finn and Jake. We'll jump in obviously. And apparently it's a boss fight or something. That was easy. So obviously we've seen Finn and Jake's special. Let's see what Gumball's special is. Or not, apparently. Okay, so they have a special at least. Where he dons Jake as a sort of suit. Which, you know, is good. And they're nearly dead. So this boss fight is definitely much more difficult than what we've been experiencing before. As you can see, I've not actually done much damage at this moment in time. Basic concept of what it is I probably need to be doing. Just need to be doing it. Let's pick up there. Nope. Jump and hit, jump. Fuck's sake. So, obviously I do apologise for my language over. This is a kid's game, you probably do not be wanting swear words. But, you know, I'm a big kid who likes to swear. And die, it would seem. Looks like I'm about to lose Uncle Grandpa. Not the end of the world. Because he's probably my least favourite character I've played as so far. But I've been able to get... I've been able to get the health back to a fairly decent point there. Stupid, didn't read that well at all. But obviously let's just try and hit the boss as much as possible. So there we go, we've got it in there. Oop, wasn't expecting the double hit there. But luckily didn't do enough to really mess with what's going on. And we're going to swap to Clarence. Swap to Finn and Jake just to try and get their health back up again. So as you can see, they hit hard, Finn and Jake. They are definitely the heavy hitters of the team. Which sort of makes you wonder why you'd want to be anyone else. So let's keep away from old Punchy McGee there. And there we go. A quick defeat of a boss. Let's quickly collect a bunch of items. Something a bit janky there. Probably a bit too much going on the screen for it. Didn't have the time to collect everything, it would seem. Not the toughest boss once you got the knack of it. Finn and Jake, very much the secret weapon there. Much like they have been for the other two levels, because they hit much harder than everyone else, and got a new skill there. By hitting circle I get something else. That's cool to know. So then we move on to the Steven Universe world Stephen Beach City. Let's have a look at this. I imagine we are going to find ourselves another character. And there we go, Steven Universe. Oh, this looks serious. Good thing you have me and my gem powers to help. And there you go, there's Steven Universe being Steven Universe to some degree. There's a clam, there's some wood. Don't fully get what all of these little obstacles are. They don't really add anything to it. They give you something to jump over, I suppose, but that's about it. So we've still got this poisoned issue that we had before. Those gem powers don't actually seem that useful. So I'm just going to hit everything with Finn and Jake. Which is becoming the answer to every question. And that jump down when they cut into these is, one, pointless. If you're not having voiceovers, why jump down the audio anyway? And it just sounds bad. There's no fade, it's just a sudden jump down in the audio levels. But anyway, any enemies with shields are so annoying, you cannot damage them until you break the shield. Luckily, Steven Universe can break shields easily. So that's the point of Steven Universe. So, you know, the characters have their own purposes and stuff like that for these sort of situations. So let's break his shield. Might not get a chance. Walkie-talkie. Let's see what the Steven Universe special is. Nice. But yet again, would have been nicer if there was a bit of, you know, voiceover going on there. And obviously we use Finn and Jake to smash the shit up, to smash up everything yet again. Let's steamroll this. Just curious if they have a different thing. They do not, so it seems that your special move will always be the same thing, which is a shame. It would be cool if there was a bit more variety in the specials that you did. Let's say la vie. So we're going to push through. These gems don't really seem to be doing much, so I'm going to focus far less on collecting them and just trying to get through the levels. So let's get to the secret. Secrets obviously give me gems. I need to get to Steven Universe to pop their shields. So that's some shields popped. Anchor Rampart dealing some damage. And Clarence finishing it off. Let's talk to Fire Princess again. So these red mirrors are full of fire. They're beautiful to me, but you should steer clear. That fire damage will do a lot of damage to you. Okay, well, there you go. Who would think that blowing air and fire would be the answer, hey? So I imagine that means that we're about to have enemies that are on fire. I'm coming for you. There you go, there is Clarence's special as well. We'll keep pushing on. See if we can show off the other specials before. Yep, there's the on fire enemy I was guessing would be occurring. Try and get rid of that penguin. There we go. What's going on here then, hey? Here, have some extra spicy hot sauce. It will speed up your attacks for a short time. I also had a cat-shaped cookie that makes you invincible, but I lost it somewhere. Haha! Imagine that if it was actually delivered as a voiceover, hey? But anyway, let's keep pushing forward. As I said, I care less about the gems as I did at the start because they seem to not really amount to much. So collecting gems, collecting gems. There's a giant stone. Let's grab some things. Don't know what that is. Wicked and faster. We'll keep going then. And we'll just use Spinning Shape to beat the hell out of everyone. I don't know what is happening here, but I imagine don't know if I'm gonna be defeating this fella in time. Ow. So I imagine I was meant to try and beat him in a time limit, and I obviously failed miserably in doing that, so c'est la vie, these things do happen. Let's see what Uncle Grandpa's special is when I get the chance. At the moment I'm just setting things on fire. Do his special, or his special, or his special. He is now in a suit. Which is confusing because sometimes press triangle and get a different attack to the suit one. Sugar. Okay, there we go. Let's see what Gumballs is. So yeah, again, Gumballs is a pretty fun little move. Nice, destroyed it before it could even get anything out. He's just set himself on fire, which is crazy. Apparently I can turn Jake into a boomerang by pressing circle. Let's keep going. In fact, let's taking a pound in there. Apparently I can break the 4 shields without using Steven Universe, it seems. So I don't fully get why they were telling me to use Steven Universe before. Oh wait, you better get a map of Beach City. You don't want to get lost in this crazy place. Go to the landfill and ask Skips if he has one. So that's the end of that level. I think you've probably seen enough of what Cartoon Network Battle Crashers is. It's a side-scrolling game aimed primarily at a child market that lacks a lot of what you probably expected it to have, unfortunately. It's a shame. It could have had the promise of actually being a sleeper hit, but the lack of voiceover and not really very much to do just doesn't make it an instant buy, really. Obviously keep an eye on it, and if you're a massive Cartoon Network fan, do consider picking it up. But hopefully this has helped you contemplate your possible purchase a tiny bit more. I have been Brett Claxton, this has been Cartoon Network Battle Crashers, and you have all been wonderful. I am Brett's Play, and obviously I write for pushstartplay.co.uk, where the review for this game will be eventually. Make sure to keep an eye on there. I'll speak to you all soon. Thank you very much. Goodbye.